Hi, it's Gio for footballbook.pro. This is my vlog for week one to see what happened and why teams won and why teams lost. The early game was the Minnesota and New Orleans game, and New Orleans, I think, got lucky catching Minnesota when they did. They were out their best wide receiver, Sidney Rice, who's going to be gone for the first half of the season, and Percy Harvin had missed virtually all of the preseason, so he wasn't on the same page as the quarterback as Brett Favre was. Plus, Minnesota was missing some key guys in the secondary. I'm not taking anything away from New Orleans. They certainly deserved the win. They showed me that they have a very good running game, which surprised a lot of people. They were able to run against that Williams wall, and I think they're fully deserving of the win. One game I really want to talk about is the game between Miami and Buffalo. I thought Buffalo was ready to win this game, and I'm putting this loss squarely on the shoulders of Coach Chan Gailey. You've got a team with three really good running backs, including who I think is going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year in C.J. Spiller, and then they decided to pass the ball instead of run with a very mediocre Trent Edwards as quarterback. They ran 17 times and they passed 34 times. It was your fault, Kaylee. You didn't do what you should have done. You should have ran the ball and not gotten into a throwing contest with your quarterback versus a Henne from Miami. Miami looked good and Buffalo looked bad, and like I said, that is squarely on the coach. In the Oakland-Tennessee game, there's a contrast. You've got Jeff Fisher, the head coach of Tennessee, knows what it takes to win. He's got Chris Johnson as his running back, and that's what they did. They gave the ball to Chris Johnson and let him run all day against a really terrible rushing defense in Oakland, and the result was exactly what it should have been, in a big win for Tennessee. In the Atlanta-Pittsburgh game, that was a tough spot for Atlanta. They're on their rise, but they got Pittsburgh at home, and now Pittsburgh's won their eighth straight home opener. They didn't really miss Ben Roethlisberger. It was a conservative game, lots of handing off to Rashad Mendenhall, and that was enough. Atlanta could have done it, but Pittsburgh's defense really saved the day for them, and you'll see that a lot this year. In the Denver-Jacksonville game, that could have gone either way. Somebody had to win, and I think with that game it was just a matter of home field advantage, which Jacksonville had. With Cleveland and Tampa Bay, Jake Delhomme had a good start to the game, but he threw his one interception and completely fell apart. It was the Jake Delhomme that you've seen the last couple of years, and I don't even think that Cleveland is going to get another road victory or a chance at a road victory. This was their only chance, and they'll probably go 0 for 8 now on the road for the rest of the year. In the Cincinnati-New England game, the Bengals put up good numbers, but New England did what they had to do. They were 9-13 on third downs. I think that leads the NFL with almost like 70% on third downs. The 15 catches for Ochocinco was a good start, and I think Terrell had 7, so 22 catches between the two of them. That's probably good news for Cincinnati. It's just they were playing New England at home, and that's always a bad spot. The only bad thing for New England was Randy Moss's comments after the game about how he's not feeling appreciated. I wonder what he's going to think next week when he has to go against Darrelle Revis and the Jets. For the Indianapolis-Houston game, they finally did it. They'd only won one game out of the 15 times that they played, but Houston found a way, and the man was Arian Foster. He ran for 231 yards on 33 carries. The difference between this year and last year was they didn't fumble the ball away into the end zone for a loss, which they could have had. The Super Bowl hangover got another victim. The Colts chalk that one down. Remember that. Super Bowl hangover. Every year it seems to work. In the Carolina-Giants game, the Giants dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage, I thought. The only blemish was Eli's 3 interceptions, and Carolina could be in tough because they might be without quarterback Matt Moore for a little while. It all depends on his injury. The kid, Jimmy Clausen, came in and didn't look that good. I think Carolina's in trouble. With Detroit-Chicago, that's a tough loss for Detroit. The referee may have blown a call. Chicago did it the way they're going to do it, at least for the first half of the year. They did it with their defense. Don't expect a lot of points from Chicago for at least the first half of the season until Mike Marks and Jay Cutler get on the same page. Tough loss for Detroit, fully deserving. In the Green Bay-Philadelphia game, that was a bit of a war of attrition. Lots of injuries in that game. Green Bay pulled it out, and that's probably because Kevin Kolb is not quite ready, I think, for Philadelphia, and a lot of second guessing is going on right now, whether Andy Reid should have let Donovan McNabb go, and it certainly looks like he shouldn't have. But one good spot for Philadelphia was when Michael Vick, sorry, I forgot his name, when Michael Vick came in, and he looked good running the ball and throwing the ball. He just ran out of time. Unfortunately for Green Bay, they might have lost, or it looks like they have lost, their running back, Ryan Grant, for the entire season. That was a physical game, lots of injuries. Green Bay won, but they took it hard on the injury front. The San Francisco-Seattle game is another one that really bothers me. I put this one squarely on the shoulders of Alex Smith, who really lost the chance at burying Seattle early. They had the ball 3 times at first and goal, and they got 2 field goals out of it. Alex Smith, you've got to take advantage of that. And later on, he threw that pick near the end of the first half, which Seattle turned into a late touchdown, which turned the whole game around. And then in the second half, on the first series, he threw an interception that was brought back for a touchdown. Smith had a horrible game. He was 1 for 15 on third down conversions. That's just brutal, and I put that loss squarely on Smith's shoulders. It might have been a tough situation being in Seattle with all the noise, but you've got to do better than that. In the Arizona-Seattle game, St. Louis rather, good debut for both quarterbacks. Number 1 overall pick, Sam Bradford, had a good game. Not quite enough. Derek Anderson did better than I thought, but mind you, he's playing against a very suspect defense in St. Louis. But Arizona deserved the win. Don't know how many they'll get on the road this year, though. With Dallas and Washington, the Cowboys, your own worst enemies. That play at the end of the half was just brutal. I don't know who to blame. The quarterback, the running back, the head coach, the offensive coordinator. You're the only ones who could have beaten you that game yourselves, and might be the stupidest play of the year already, and it probably will hold out for the entire year. Donovan McNabb for Philadelphia looked all right, but I think Dallas deserved the win. They'll win this week. With Baltimore and the Jets, that was a war, another war of attrition. Now, the first thing you need to know is that Rex Ryan, the head coach for the Jets, you can't be mouthing off like that, especially to Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis always backs up what he says. The Jets can't score, and penalties killed you. You didn't have the ball enough. It was too many 3-and-outs. Baltimore dominated the time of possession, 38 minutes to 22. 6 first downs for the Jets, 1 in 11 on third down conversions. Just a terrible performance by the Jets offense. I know that's a tough Ravens defense, but you've got to do better than that at home. And in the last game, the Monday nighter, San Diego at Kansas City, it took a lot of rain and some punt returns, but Kansas City finally shook it off too. And I've been saying that San Diego doesn't look like they're going to dominate this division again, and they're certainly not going to dominate when they let the opposing team have a 32-yard average of returning punts. The defense looked good for Kansas City as well. They've got the 2 coordinators from New England, Romeo Crennel on defense and Charlie Weiss on offense. I expect Kansas City to be a dark horse team. Okay, these are some of my thoughts for week 1. If you have any thoughts of your own, drop me a line at gio@footballbook.pro or leave a message in the forum. And we'll see you again on my blog.